The perfect way to spend your Sunday. Assalamu alaikum, this is your brother Mohammad Arshad, and in this video I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how I spend my Sunday. So first of all, I tend to work probably every day, but I think it's important to have some rest time, right? Because I think having rest kind of gets you recuperated, it kind of gets you into that mode where your motivation's back up and stuff. So I think it's really, really important, even if you work hard, to take one day off in the week. Now, obviously, that can be any day of the week. Sometimes people like doing it on Jummah, sometimes people like doing it on Saturday or Sunday. Me personally, I think Sunday has that kind of chilled out vibe, so I like to kind of build upon that. But still, even though it's a chilled out day, even though it's something relaxed, on Sunday I try and take it easy, trying to kind of spend more time with family, trying to spend time away from work and the laptop and all that kind of stuff. One of the things I do on Sundays, though, probably the most important thing I do for the whole week is sit down and plan my week, right? So I plan my week on Sundays, and I think it's a really, really great time to do it, because then that way when you get into Monday morning, bang, like you're ready to act. You don't need to sit and start thinking, oh, what do I do? As soon as you start Monday, you're into action mode. So what I do is I actually sit down sometime on Sunday. Sometimes I do it in the morning, sometimes I do it in the afternoon, sometimes I do it in the evenings, but I actually sit down and plan the whole week out. Now, let me give some tips for planning and how I do it, so that gives you some kind of, some background on that as well. What I tend to do is I have a document which basically lists out the standard things. So I sit down and I basically list out everything that I need to do every week anyway. So for example, I'm making content regularly, I'm posting content regularly, so that's going to be in my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing every single time anyway. So I have a default list of stuff I do every week. I basically review the week. I'm like, how did last week go? What were the good things that happened? What did I do? What were the things that I should have done, I didn't do? Why didn't I do them? How can I make the coming week better? And then I start looking at all the things that I need to basically do this week. Now, where does that come from? That comes from actions that might be there, that comes from other people's requests. It might also come from like a capture list. So on my phone, I just have this list where I basically capture all the things that come up during the week. So for example, let's say someone walked in now and said, Mohammed, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. I'd get my phone and I type in XYZ I need to do. And if it doesn't need to be done this week, I just put it in my capture list. And then when I'm doing my weekly planning, I'll go through my capture list and see what does need to be done this week. So once I've kind of done that, then I start to prioritize it into days. I'm like, okay, what should I do on Monday? And I try and batch things, right? I've talked about this before. I try and batch, for example, all calls I try and have on 2 specific days. So anyone that wants a call with me, I'm like, okay, let's do it on this day, because that's my calling day. And then deep work, I'm like, this is the day for deep work. So try and batch things, because that will make you more effective rather than task switching. And then when I've kind of done my days, then what I'll do is I'll basically, on the day, I'll start to reprioritize and see what's the most important thing. I review things and I kind of list them all up. So anyway, just to summarize in terms of planning your week, have something which is a standard of how you do your week anyway, by default, like the things you have to do every week and regularly. Then sit down and look at last week, what went well, what didn't go well, learn lessons from it, what didn't you do that you should have done. Get your capture list, keep something on your phone which records everything that needs to be done so you don't forget. Add that to your list, get your days together, and then you can put them into your calendar and do things like that. So I use a mix of Trello, which basically keeps tasks. I also use Google Calendar, both of which are free to kind of book my calls in and kind of plan my day like that as well. So those are really, really useful things. The last thing I would say to you about Sundays is that even though it's a chill out day, even though it's a relaxed day, I still try to do something productive. Now that could mean that if I'm watching something, I'll try and watch something more productive, like rather than just watching rubbish, let me get into one of those YouTube binge, like try and watch something which is like empowering for the mind. Maybe it's some sort of documentary, maybe it's some sort of training and stuff like that. So I think doing something like that is really, really beneficial. And for today, as it's Sunday, what I would say to you guys is go to muslimceo.com and check out our free training, because if you consume a lot of the content that I do and you really enjoy it and you think it's great, a lot of this video is just done me. I sit down for about a half an hour to an hour and I think, what do I want to say? What do I want to speak about? I kind of put it together in the moment, and that's really good. But what's more powerful than people who just make videos and this and that is the work that they do when they're deep. So this training that I prepared is actually really, really deep. It took me weeks to prepare. It's something that I did myself and I got my partners involved. And we basically took like the last few decades of experience that we have as business people, alhamdulillah, and we packed it into this like very short training. And I think it's one of those most productive things that you can do on Sunday. And of course, if you're watching this and it's not Sunday, still a great time to watch it. So go check it out at muslimceo.com. Jazakallah khair for watching. I hope it helps, and inshallah I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.